Hey guys, I wanted to make an updated video. If you had seen my last update talking about my recent Spinraza injection, you will know that within that video, I have talked about how my injection went well. I talked about the entire process from beginning to end, to my nervousness for receiving my very first dose of high dose Spinraza, how this procedure was different compared to what I am normally used to. And also within that video, the video is like 20 minutes and you guys could check it out there. I believe it's the video posted right before this one. If not the video before this one, the video before that one. So either like one or two episodes before you guys see this one. But back to what I was saying is within that video, I also shared with you guys how I have been going through discomfort from the injection, since the injection. And I talked about how in the very beginning, everything was fine. Nothing was out of the ordinary for me. Headaches and pain, discomfort here and there, but nothing out of my normalcy. And within that video, I started to talk about how it's been several days since the injection and things started to take a 180 where things that were completely normal to me started to go backwards, where I actually started to experience some discomfort and some pain that was close to being unbearable. So I was literally, as the day started to go on and I started to talk about the video, I was like, I think I'll be fine. I don't think I'll need any medical intervention. And I says that there's no need to make an updated video unless something else changes. Well, I am making an updated video just because something did change. Now, that night, actually, upon that recording, it was very difficult for me to go to sleep. Again, I believe I recorded that video August the 14th. You guys don't see that video until August 17th. I believe it's August 17th is when that video gets uploaded. I'm just trying to stay consistent, uploading every other day. But back to the topic is while I was making that video, I talked about the discomfort and I talked about everything that I was going through. That night when I made that full updated video in depth, going over everything from beginning to end, is I shared I was going through a lot of discomfort. I was going through discomfort, and that night I actually started experiencing a lot of discomfort. Where it was, have you ever experienced pain so intense where you're laying down or sitting down, or you're just experiencing pain so intense where every time you breathe, you want to hold your breath because the pain is just that intensified? Well, that's how it was. And I am an individual that has a very high pain tolerance. I literally live through discomfort 24/7. I cannot remember the last time where, pain was non-existent. Unless you, like, I just can't remember. I just cannot remember having some form of tranquility in that aspect. So, that night I was going through a lot. I was actually on the verge of potentially calling the ambulance, having the ambulance take me to the hospital, just because, again, the pain was that intensified. Now, I just bared through the night. I bared through it and, just got very little to no sleep that day and, just kind of bared through it. So as the day started to go on, it started to intensify and then it started to subside slightly, like very, very, very little as, the days continued to go on. So again, I was experiencing this like August the 14th, August 15th, 16th was like just about unbearable, where it was like starting to intensify. And then today, which is August the 17th, it started to subside a little bit. The pain was still there, the discomfort was still there, but it started to subside. Now, I reached out to my doctor at around midnight and I shared everything, all of the details with my primary care physician. And I told them everything that I was currently going through. And I said, hey, this is what I'm going through. Of course, I said it much more professionally and a lot more enhancedly. But, I messaged them and I was like, hey, this is what I'm going through. I have felt like this roughly about a year and a half to 2 years ago. And, so I'm not concerned about anything because, again, I am fortunately in charted territory. So I was like, is it possible if you can go back, look at my chart, and I gave, detail dates that they can like reference from. And I was like, can you possibly go back and just replicate what you had given me, what was given to me in the ER last time when I had went in for the very similar experience? Fortunately, they got back to me and then ended up getting back to me literally this morning. At the time of this recording, it is literally August the 17th of 2026. And they were like, I just put in the order. I hope you feel better. Let me know if anything changes, yada, yada, yada. So fortunately, I had an interview actually today as well. And fortunately, my doctor got back to me and they were like, we're going to have a nurse contact you and we can get an appointment set up so you can come in. We can give you the 2 injections that you are hoping for. So I didn't get back. I didn't hear anything back from my doctor's assistant. I believe I would call it the doctor's assistant. I didn't hear back from the hospital. So what I did after my interview, we just simply made, by we, I'm talking about my mother and I, we just decided, let's just do a walk-in. The order's already in for the medication. The worst thing they can say is, I'm sorry, no nurse or nobody is available to give you the medication. You'll have to make an appointment. We decided to just kind of go in for a Hail Mary, do a walk-in appointment, told them the circumstances, and I am so incredibly grateful and fortunate that a nurse was able to see me upon my walk-in and was able to give me the 2 medications, the 2 prescriptions that my doctor had prescribed for me because of everything that I have been going through. So I received a pain injection, a pain shot, and also a steroid shot as well. And I am currently, feeling a lot better just because of the pain medication. A little bit of discomfort, but I think that's just because it's been a very long, productive day where I actually haven't had the chance to recline my chair and stretch because again, it's been a very long, productive day. But, a little bit of discomfort still, but I'm doing so much better compared to how I have been doing. Now, if anything does change, if anything else does intensify, then of course I will make another updated video upon this one. But as of right now, this will be my last updated video talking about my 28th Spinraza injection. And something I want to share with you guys as well is that, one, go check out the other video so you guys can see everything, how the entire procedure went. But also I want to mention as well is that my medical procedure is not ordinary. It's very complex just because of my severe sclerosis and simply because of my severe sclerosis. So the pain where I receive the injection, where they have to do the puncture for the injection, is there's only one option available to administer that needle. So other than this one spot, there's no other alternatives. We looked and there's no other alternatives. It's either this way or no way. And this way is pretty complex just because, again, of my severe sclerosis. So where I am going with this conversation is that because I have been taking these injections for several years, they have to continuously, repetitiously go through the same spot over and over again. So over time, that spot is starting to develop scar tissue inside, which we think, and by we, I'm talking about me and the doctor talked about this and even had conversations with my mom. And, it's kind of like a no-brainer as well. But, because they're going continuously to the same spot over and over again, I am developing scar tissue where it's making it a little bit harder, not impossible, but a little bit more challenging to penetrate to get to that injection site. So I think that's starting to play a factor. But again, I haven't felt like this for roughly 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years. So it is a good thing. I'm not too concerned about it. But I wanted to make an updated video to share with you guys, document it with you guys, and kind of just share this experience. There is going to come a day when I will write another book about my life story, and I will reflect off of these videos, these conversations, to kind of help with when I write my next book, where I actually talk about my entire story from beginning to end, from the entire good, the bad, and the ugly, and really going in full detail so you guys can really get to know much more of who I am and get to know about how I became ultimately who I was becoming. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for sticking to this far within the video. Your guys' prayers. I even posted about it on social media as well, giving you guys an update. And I will make a post sometime tonight as well to update my audience as well, to update all of you guys. And I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, your guys' prayers, your guys' support. It really, really means a lot. You guys' words of encouragement really means a lot. But, prayer, I believe, is a very powerful tool. And if you guys take time out of your day to say a simple prayer for me, it really, really does go a far way. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Remember, prayer changes things. And as always, like I like to end all of my videos, is remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.